So something's going on inside the body with people who have ADHD and PMDD. Hi, PMDD people. I hope you're looking after yourself. And if you're going through Hell Week, I hope you're taking extra care of yourself, practicing that self-compassion that I've been banging on about, maybe urge surfing as per my recent video. But I am back, and this is like a little news update I thought I would do. I've been trawling through the PMDD news on the internet, and I found a recent article. It's from The Independent, and the title is, "What is PMDD? Study finds link between serious condition and women with ADHD." So I haven't spoken about PMDD and ADHD in these videos. So I am going to be learning something from this article as well. But if you have any experience and you're feeling safe enough to share, please do comment on your experience with ADHD and PMDD. As always, the articles always give some handy stats about PMDD, and it says it affects about 3% of women worldwide, although I've seen the figures to say 5 to 7% of women and AFAB individuals. So yeah, I wonder why they've gone as low as 3% there. So yeah, usual explanation. So they conducted an online survey of 715 women aged 18 to 34 in the UK, and they asked them whether they experienced different symptoms of ADHD or PMDD, and whether they'd like to receive an ADHD diagnosis from a doctor, and how symptoms interfered with their lives. Oh, interesting. So they found about 31% of women with a clinical ADHD diagnosis also had PMDD. So that's 31%. As did around 41% of women who scored high for ADHD symptoms, whether they had been formally diagnosed with ADHD or not. In comparison, only about 9% of women without ADHD met the criteria for PMDD. Our study isn't the first to show a link between the two conditions, but it is the first to identify a similar PMDD risk among women with ADHD symptoms, not just among those who were in treatment. So something's going on inside the body with people who have ADHD and PMDD. Again, I know I say I'm no scientist, just absolutely fascinated about the mechanisms inside us to make us behave this way every month. So there's a connection there. If any scientists are watching and your speciality is like ADHD, PMDD, let me know. I'd love to have you on the channel. As with anyone, if anyone wants to come on the channel and talk about their experiences, let me know. My email address is in the description. So again, more research is needed to understand why women with ADHD appear to be more vulnerable to PMDD. Again, more research needs to be conducted. We've all heard this. And future research should assess PMDD symptoms among women in real time as they experience their menstrual cycles to more accurately assess symptoms without having to rely on people's memory. Memory is an interesting one because like we do know we go through it, but like when you're out of it and you feel energized, sometimes it's hard to even like empathize with yourself. Does that make sense? Like I know some people with PMDD kind of like gaslight themselves, like, oh, it wasn't as bad, oh, I'm not going to have it next time, and then it comes around again, they're like, I remember this is horrible. So that is quite a common thing. Let me know if you do that or you've experienced that. But yeah, great to see another article about PMDD in the mainstream there. So that was that article. Again, lurking on Reddit, I've seen a post where someone's asked, have you just accepted that no one can help you during luteal? I'm starting to realise the harsh reality that I don't think I can expect any of my loved ones to be able to help me during the luteal phase, and I just need to isolate. But I want help. But should I let go of expecting them to show up? Yeah, that's a tricky one. That is a tricky one. I think this is, again, my personal opinion, but if your family and loved ones are willing to learn about it, and read that PMDD Partners book by Aaron Kinghorn. I was talking about that in PMDD When Jokes Aren't Funny Anymore in that video. Aaron Kinghorn's written a book about a partner's perspective and gives advice in that book to other partners who want to support their loved one with PMDD. So I think it really depends if the support is there and they're willing. Maybe you don't have to accept, but sometimes it really just depends on the unique experience. Isolating can be helpful, but also dangerous in the fact that suicidal ideation is real in PMDD. So when you isolate, there is a risk there. And I don't know if you'd be putting yourself more at risk if you isolate to acting on that. So there's a risk factor there. And again, it really depends, because if you're feeling irritable and enraged, then that might be a time to kind of, when I say isolate, I'm just picturing like being in a bedroom or a living room and watching TV and just being with yourself. But sometimes all we can do is accept. Acceptance and compassion, those two words come up a lot as well. Accepting and being compassionate to yourself. But within this context, about your loved ones helping you, there are lots of resources out there, websites where they can understand it a little bit better. But I know easier said than done when you're in the depths of PMDD and those symptoms are coming out, and maybe you're having arguments or conflicts happening because there's that sensitivity to rejection, the rage, the anxiety, the anger, the depression, the sadness, the teariness. It's so hard to manage that when you're going through it with other people. So maybe asking them to research PMDD when you're out of that, so you can have conversations when you're feeling a bit more energized out of your luteal phase. And going from there and seeing how your relationship can develop over time whilst you go through a few cycles of PMDD with their new knowledge of maybe how they can approach it with you. Because again, they're only human, and when conflict happens, they're going to get triggered because they're going to have their own stuff going on. And if they don't realize what's happening inside you, then that can amplify everything. So anyway, I hope this PMDD chat or ramble was useful. And again, please be compassionate with yourself if you're going through PMDD. And thank you for being here. I will see you in the next video. And don't forget to check out Instagram, where I also post the PMDD postcards as well. The form is in the description on Instagram. So please, if you'd like to share your story anonymously, I will turn it into a postcard and share it, so we can create this community here on YouTube and on Instagram. Anyway, bye.